more with the Mac beyond the basics. We're going to have some short demos, some Q&A. We'll even have some special guests stop by. So sit back and enjoy, gather your questions, and enjoy more with the Mac beyond the basics. All right, I got my buddy John Penneridge with me today, my mentor, just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. If I don't know it, then he does. Because I'm going to go over some arranging the dock preferences, some system settings, say that 3 times, some system setting recommendations that I do. I didn't reinvent the wheel because John has already done one on that, and it's perfect, and I'd mess it up anyway. Then we're going to jump over to mail, and I'm going to show you how to add and remove favorites and add some signatures. Organizing your dock. Organizing your dock is actually quite simple. I mean, it's just a few keystrokes, and it's really not rocket science, for lack of a better term. I'm going to show you how to add and remove things from your dock and to reorganize apps on your dock. Me, myself, I'm not an avid dock user. I'm a commanders user, so if I want an app opened, I hit option, the letter corresponding with it, like the letter C for chat. That opens up my messages app. But that's a topic for another day. So let's go to the dock.
Dock, time machine.
As you can see, Time Machine is on my dock. I don't even use Time Machine no more, so let's show you how to remove it. VO-Shift-M.
Menu.
You can either arrow down.
Open Time Machine settings ellipsis. Back up now. Stop backing up. Browse other Time Machine disks ellipsis. Remove from dock. Show Time Machine. Remove from dock.
And remove from dock is right there.
Finder. Desktop.
You just push the letter, or you push the enter key, and you're done. Let's go back to the dock.
Dock. Finder.
Finder's always on the dock. I leave it there. It doesn't bother me.
System settings.
System settings. This is a app I don't need. I ain't gonna say I don't use it, because of course I use it. That's where my settings are. But I don't need it on my dock because I have a commander for it.
Actions available.
So again, VO-Shift-M.
Menu.
Now I'm not gonna arrow through these options because it's gonna give me every option that's in the system settings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the letter O.
Options.
And that's gonna give me options. I'm gonna VO right.
Options. Remove from dock.
And there's remove from dock. Hit enter.
Finder. Desktop.
And it's gone. All right, that's pretty simple.
Dock. Finder.
Let's organize some apps now.
Feedback assistant.
Feedback assistant. I'm definitely gonna leave that on the dock because I'm a beta tester and I need that where I can find it. But I don't want it at the beginning, so I'm gonna hold down the option key.
Actions
and I'm
available.
gonna hit the letter, or not that letter. I'm gonna hit the arrow, right arrow.
Feedback assistant. Move to the right of file list export. Feedback assistant. Move to the right of GarageBand.
So I moved it to the right of 2 apps, and now I'm going to let go of option, and now let's see where it's at.
GarageBand. Feedback assistant.
And there it is, right next to GarageBand. Now, say I want to move GarageBand to the first app on my dock.
GarageBand.
I'm on GarageBand, so I'm going to hold down the option key, and I'm going to hit the left arrow.
GarageBand. Move to the left of file list export.
And that's the only place I can move it, because, of course, Finder always stays first, and now it is.
GarageBand. File list export. Separator. GarageBand. Finder. GarageBand.
Yep, Finder, then GarageBand. But I don't use GarageBand that often, so let's remove it from the dock. VO-Shift-M.
Menu.
The letter O.
Options.
Right arrow once.
Options. Remove from dock.
Remove from dock. Hit enter.
Finder. Desktop.
And it's gone. Now I've showed you how to organize apps and move apps around. Let's show you how to add apps to the dock. Of course, by now you should know. To get to the applications key, or to get to the applications list, you hit Command-Shift-A.
Applications window. List view.
I use list view as you see, so I'm going to interact.
List photos application.
And photos is already on my dock, so I can't put it there again.
Podcast application.
What about the podcast app? I don't use it that often, but I'm just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to hold down Shift, Command, Control. Hit the letter T, and you will hear.
Add to dock.
And it's on my dock. Let's add another one. Let's go all the way down here to the bottom.
Kind, application, size, date, name, zoom.us application.
Let's put zoom on the dock. So, Command, Control, Shift, in the letter T, and it will say
Add to dock.
Now, it doesn't matter what order you hold the keys down in, as long as they're all being held down when you hit the letter T. So let's go to the dock and see if these new apps are there.
Dock, Finder, Trash, Downloads, Separator, Zoom.us.
There's Zoom.
Podcast.
And there's Podcast. So bam, it worked. And there, my friends, is how you organized the dock. System settings. Now I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel here because my buddy John Penner Reeves from MacForTheBlind.com has already done an extensive demonstration of where to find apps, how to get to apps, and whatever. I'm just about to show you a couple of things that I do when I first set up my Mac to eliminate me accidentally activating mission control and other shortcuts that are automatically selected. So I actually did a clean install of my Mac about a week or so ago and avoided doing these setup things that I usually do just so I could do these demonstrations for Beyond the Basics. So let's open up System Settings.
System settings. Appearance window. Table. Appearance. Selected. Has keyboard focus.
Now the nice thing about System Settings now, and I think it was like this before once you was in the table, but now you don't even have to interact. You can do single letter navigation to get to where you want to go. So the area I want to go right now is the keyboard. So I push the letter K.
Keyboard.
And I just jump over to
Keyboard.
the scroll area. It doesn't say that, but it is a scroll area.
Keyboard.
And I'm going to interact here.
In key 4. Keyboard shortcuts.
Keyboard shortcuts is where we want to go. So I'm going to feel spacebar.
In dialog table. Launchpad and dock shortcuts. Selected.
All right, Launchpad and dock shortcuts. I don't even use Launchpad or dock shortcuts anyway. So we're not even going to go into that one.
Table.
But
Launchpad and dock shortcuts.
let's go into this table though.
In table. Launchpad and dock shortcuts. Display shortcuts.
Display shortcuts. Again, I don't even have a display connected to my Mac, so I don't need to even bother with those.
Mission control shortcuts.
Mission control. This is where we want to be at. So I'm going to stop interacting and go over to the list of mission control shortcuts.
Add vertical to change a shortcut. Double click the key combination and then type the new keys.
Well, you can do that if you want, but I never change them because I don't use them. So let's go into the table.
Table. In table. Mission control. Control up arrow. Mission checked. Mission checked. Mission control. Checkbox.
All right, so it shows that this one is checked, so I'm going to uncheck it.
Unchecked. Show notification center. None.
I don't even know why this is listed in here anymore because Notification Center already has a built-in shortcut as a voiceover user anyway. Maybe the side community can use this, but we have no need for it.
Turn do not disturb on off. None.
It has turn do not disturb on and off. Again, this is another one that has a built-in shortcut. I think it's F5 or F6. You have to play around with that one. I can't remember, but I mean, I used to have one set for this, but I don't anymore, as well as Notification Center. But again, there's no need for it because it automatically comes built into Ventura.
Application windows. Control down arrow.
Basically, this will open up an application window, and I know it's checked, so I'm going to uncheck it.
Unchecked. Show desktop. F11.
Show desktop. I don't need it. I know how to get to the dock, so can uncheck this one.
Unchecked. Turn stage manager on off. None.
I don't use stage manager, and I don't even know if this is on or off, so let's see.
Unchecked.
Yep, it was on, so I'll uncheck that.
Mission control. Collapsed.
And mission control here is collapsed, so let's
Row 7
expand this
expanded.
a little bit.
Move left to space. Control left arrow.
Move left to space. We don't need control left arrow to do that because it's built into VoiceOver.
Unchecked.
So we uncheck that.
Move right to space. Control right arrow.
Same deal, uncheck it.
Unchecked. Switch to desktop 1. Control 1.
I'm assuming you can have more than one desktop. I don't, so I'm going to uncheck this one. Even though these are things that I never do, I just don't want to accidentally activate them.
Checked.
That was already unchecked, so let's uncheck it again.
Quick note. Globe symbol with meridians. Q.
Now, this is an interesting one. This is where you would activate a quick note. It's saying globe symbol, and I'm assuming it's the letter Q. It's the globe symbol, which is your function key, for lack of a better term, and the letter Q will automatically launch quick notes. I don't actually use quick notes. I think it does work, though, because I tried it before when I first was beta testing Ventura last year.
Quick note. Globe symbol. Window spot. Word. Character navigation. Quick note. Globe.
And that is the last one in this category, so we can stop interacting.
To change the vertical splitter. Table. Mission. In table. Keyboard shortcuts.
All right, keyboard shortcuts. Let's stop interacting here. And go back to the
Vertical
table.
to change the shortcut. Table. It changed the way tab moves focus. Control F7.
Now, this is where mission control and stuff would automatically be activated, so I don't know if this is checked or not.
Unchecked.
Yep, it was checked, so I'll uncheck that.
Turn keyboard access on or off. Control F1.
I don't need that, so I'm turning it off.
Unchecked. Move focus to the menu bar. Control F2.
Control F2. This might be one I might want to keep and anybody else might want to keep because it just said...
Move focus to the menu bar. Control F2.
Well, I mean, we can move to the menu bar with VOM, so I'll uncheck this. This is personal preference. I'm just showing you things that I do when I first set up my Mac.
Unchecked. Move focus to the dock. Control F3.
And we don't need that because you can VOD for the dock. So I uncheck this. It's up to you if you want to use
Move focus to the dock. Control F3.
Control F3 will do that for you, as long as your function keys are selected as standard function keys.
Unchecked. Move focus to active or next window. Control F4.
That's another personal preference. It just said if you want to move to the active app, Control F4. I don't use that, so I will uncheck it.
Unchecked. Move focus to the window toolbar. Control F5.
This is interesting. Control F5 will move you to the toolbar. So instead of having to VO across a lot of information, I guess you can just hit Control F5 and it'll do that. Let's see with them.
Unchecked. Checked.
I'm going to leave mine checked and play with that a little bit and see how it works out.
Move focus to the floating window. Control F6.
Floating windows I know nothing about, so I'm going to uncheck that one.
Unchecked. Move focus to next window. Command.
Now, it says Command Accent, and this is the one I used to accidentally uncheck. But you want this because you want to be able to toggle between open windows or tabs, whether you're on Safari or working within Finder. So let me make sure this one is checked.
Unchecked.
Yeah, it was checked, so
checked.
We're going to leave that one checked.
Move focus to status menus. Control F8.
Status menus, F8. I don't use that either, so.
Unchecked. Move focus to status menu.
And that's all that's in that one.
To change the vertical split table. Keyboard in table. Input sources shortcuts.
Input, I'm not even messing with that. I never mess with stuff that I don't need. I don't even mess with.
Screenshot shortcuts.
Screenshot shortcuts. You can go in there and explore how to do a screenshot. I leave all those checked because usually sometimes developers or people want to see a screenshot of something. So, like if you're having an issue with something, like my buddies over at Roboneva that make the audio hijack and Farrago and loopback apps. Sometimes they want a screenshot of what I'm doing, so I'll screenshot it to them and send that. So I'll leave those alone.
Services shortcuts.
Services shortcut, again, something I don't use, so I don't go into it.
Spotlight shortcuts.
Spotlight, I cannot stand on the phone, iPad or phone, or Mac, so I do not mess with those. I might want to go in there and actually turn it off so it doesn't activate Spotlight, but I'll do that later.
Accessibility shortcuts.
Accessibility shortcuts, that's all that's really in there is telling you how to turn voiceover on and off, and if you want to use sticky keys. Really no need to go in there.
Application shortcuts.
Application shortcuts. Now, this is the one that I wanted to show you because this is where you can customize and create shortcuts within apps. So let's go over here and see what I have created already.
Verticals to change the short table. Into all applications. Collapsed. Mail. Collapsed.
So I have a mail shortcut. Let's see what it is.
Mail. Collapsed. Mail. Collapsed.
Oh,
I
gotta collapse it.
Save attachments. Save attachments. Option Command C.
All right, I actually got to change this because I want it to be Command Shift A. Or Command Option A, I should say. But the bottom line is, when I'm in Mail, if you go into the File menu, there's an option to save attachments, but there's no shortcut key for it. So I created a shortcut key for it. I'll show you how to do that in a minute.
Add. Remove. Done. Done. Remove. Add. Table. Save attachments. Option Command C.
Oh, I guess I'm going to have to delete it so I can show you how it goes. Okay.
Add. Remove.
I got to remove
to change
it.
the shortcut table. Add.
All right, so I'm going to add a shortcut.
7 items. Application. All applications. Application.
Now I have to pick the application I want to apply to, which is going to be Mail. So I'm going to VO space bar into this pop-up.
Menu checkmark. All applications.
Hit the letter M.
Mac Daily News. Mail.
And here's Mail.
Mail. Application. Menu title.
Menu title. Now this has to be exactly what I wanted to do. In this case, it's going to be Save Attachments.
Menu title. Edit text.
And let me write that out because it used to let you paste it, but it doesn't anymore.
Save.
And I have to add an ellipsis. I have to add an ellipsis at the end of it, and in order to do that, you hold down Option and hit the colon.
Ellipsis.
And
enter the exact name of the menu command you want to add.
Yep, I just told you that. Now the next step is going to be to tell it what keys to push when I want to do Save Attachments.
Keyboard shortcut.
So I'm going to hold down Option, Control, or no, I'm sorry, Command what is it? Yeah. Command Option and the letter A is how I want this one set.
Option Command A. Selected. Cancel.
And I want to hit Save.
Done.
Or Done.
Add.
Now let's jump over here to Mail.
Text edit. Untitled. System setting. Mail. Mail.
All right. Let's see if it's in the File menu now.
Menu bar. Apple. Mail. File. Mail. File. New viewer. Open messages. Command. Close command. Double. Save command. Save as ellipsis. Attach files ellipsis. Save attachments ellipsis. Command Option A.
And there it is. It says Save Attachments. Command Option A. That was not there before.
Mailboxes.
All right. Now.
Quit mail. Text edit.
There is an instance where
select all.
You can
system settings. System setting.
Have a shortcut key apply to all applications. For instance, there is a feature in TextEdit, Pages, and another app I can't think of right now, Keynote. What's another one? Anyways, those are the main ones that I use. But there's an option in there to move to, so you can move that document or project to a folder while you're working on it, so you can save it to that folder automatically. And instead of creating a shortcut for each of those apps, I can have this shortcut applied to all those applications. So let's go to add,
Remove. Done. Remove. Add. Add.
So I'm going to add, I'm going to hit add, and make sure all applications is selected.
Application. All applications.
All right, all applications is selected.
Menu title.
And this is, of course, where I want to type what the menu type, or what I want this thing to do.
Menu title. Edit text.
So I'm going to type move
to,
and of course I think there's an ellipsis, so option :
ellipsis. Enter the exact name of keyboard shortcut.
Keyboard shortcut will be Command Option. No, we'll make it S. Command Option S.
Option Command S. Selected.
Because technically you're saving it in another location. So we made it Command Option S.
Cancel. Done.
And we'll hit done.
Add.
And let's go over here to TextEdit and see what happens.
Text edit.
VOM.
Menu bar. Apple.
File menu.
Text file.
And let's see if Move To has a shortcut key now.
File. New Command N. Open ellipsis Command O. Open recent. Close Command W. Save ellipsis Command S. Duplicate Command Shift S. Rename ellipsis. Move to ellipsis Command Option S.
And there it is. Move to Command Option S. And it's as simple as that to making custom shortcuts. So there you go. That's how you make application shortcuts. You can make it specific to one app like I did with Mail. I need to add another one to send it an address book. And then you can make one that's global let me show you that it actually works in Pages. Let me see, because now remember I did all applications. Let's launch Pages.
Pages. Open window. Left
Let's just act like
keyboard window.
Act like we're going to make a new document, which I just did Command N, and let's go to the File menu.
Menu bar. Page. File. New open ellipsis. Open recent. Close Command. Save Command. Duplicate Command. Rename ellipsis. Move to ellipsis Command Option S.
And there it is. Command Option S. It worked in Pages also.
Setting.
Alright, so let's open up Keynote and show you that it does it there also.
Keynote. Open window.
Don't know why I took that lap so long to open, but anyway, let's act like we're doing a new presentation.
Window. Collection.
Now, let's go to the File menu.
Bar, Apple. Keynote. File. New open ellipsis. Open close save command. Save as duplicate Command Shift. Rename ellipsis. Move to ellipsis Command Option S.
And there it is. Command Option S. So as you can see, that shortcut that I created for all applications works in all the apps.
Collection. System settings.
And let's see what is left.
Accessibility shortcuts. Application shortcuts.
We got application shortcuts, what we just did.
Function keys.
Function keys, that basically just asks you if you want to use function keys as standard function keys, so you check or uncheck that box.
Modifier keys.
Modifier keys, again, same thing. Control Option Command wants to know what you want this function to be.
Modifier keys.
And that is the last one. So there, my friends, is what I wanted to show you with some recommended settings from what I use and how to create application-specific shortcuts. The Mail app. I'm going to show you a few advanced things like adding mailboxes to favorites, reorganizing the order of your favorites. I guess I can show you how to reorganize your account, rename your account if you so choose, and adding and removing signatures. So let's launch the Mail app.
Mail. All inboxes.
And again, when I did my clean install a couple of weeks ago, well, it's been about a week and a half now, I avoided organizing these favorites just so I could show this demo. How special for y'all. Anyway,
toolbar.
That's the toolbar. All the way over to the left. Close.
Minimize. Full. All to toolbar.
Anyways.
Mailboxes.
Okay.
All inboxes. 48 unread. Selected.
So this mailbox is actually already in my favorites. So let's go down, interact with this table, and go down to my iCloud account.
In mailbox. Smart on my Mac. Recovered message. iCloud. Expanded. Inbox. 5 unread. Inbox. Drafts. 1 unsent. Junk. 9 unread. Trash. Archive. Apple everything. 7 unread. Apple everything.
There's one of my custom mailboxes, and this is the one I always put at the top. So in order to add this to the favorites, you want to VO-Shift-M,
Menu.
arrow down, or what I do is I hit the letter A and it says,
Add to favorites.
voila.
Add to favorites. Apple everything. 7.
So I added that to my favorites.
Bills. 1 unread. Bill.
Another one I like to have in my favorites, and we'll show you why in a bit. VO-Shift-M.
Menu.
I'll arrow down this time so you can see if there's any other options.
New mailbox ellipsis. Add to favorites.
Add to favorites is the second option. Hit enter.
Add to favorites. Bills. 1 up.
And there it's added to my favorites.
Devotionals. 20 unread. Domain work. 4 unread. Domain work.
This is where I have all my stirred up mail come to, and I definitely need this in my favorites, so we'll VO-Shift-M.
Menu.
Hit that letter A.
Add to favorites.
And hit enter.
Domain work. 4 unread.
Now, before I show you how to get all inboxes, all junk, and all trash, let's go reorganize these real quick.
Favorites. Add. Favorite.
So I went up to the top.
All inboxes. 48 unread.
I don't like my all inboxes to be first. I like my Apple stuff to be first. So
all sent. Collab. Apple everything. 7 unread.
Apple everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the mouse down command, which is VO command shift and the space bar.
Mouse down on. Apple everything. 7 unread. Apple everything. Has alternate items.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on. I'm going to go up to the mailbox that I want it above. So in this case, it's going to be all inboxes. So I hit the up arrow.
All sent. Collapsed. All inboxes. 48 unread. All inboxes. Collapsed.
And there it is. And I do the mouse up command.
All inboxes. 48 unread. Collapsed.
And let's see where it's at.
Apple everything. 7 unread. All inboxes.
How about that? On top of all inboxes, where I want it. So let's go down below all inboxes.
All sent. Collapsed.
That's all sent. I don't even use that. I don't even know why it's there, but while I'm doing that, then let's show you how to remove apps, or not apps, but mailboxes from your favorites. So you want to do VO-Shift. I'm not VO-Shift. I'm sorry. VO-Shift-M.
Menu.
And remove from favorites. I push the letter R.
Remove from favorites.
And voila, you hit enter.
No row selected.
And it says no row selected because there's nothing else in that section.
All inboxes. 48 unread. All bills. 1 unread. Bills.
My bills is actually where I want it to be, but
domain work. 4 unread. Domain work.
My domain work. I want that right after all Apple everything. So VO command shift space bar, which is the voice, or not the voice, but the mouse down command.
Mouse down on. Domain work. 4 unread. Bills. 1 up. All in. Apple everything. All inboxes. 48 unread. All inboxes. Collapsed.
All right. I want it right above that, so I'm gonna do the voice up command, which is the exact same command, but you're just doing it again.
All inboxes. 48 unread.
So
collapsed.
let's see what's above there.
Domain work. 4 unread.
How about that? Right above domain work, or right above all inboxes where I want it. So, and if you go over to in your file menu and go over to mailbox.
Menu bar. App. Edit. View. Mailbox. Message. Format. Window. For message. Mailbox.
You can go down.
Mailbox. Take all accounts off. Take all accounts offline. Get all new mail. Synchronize all. Mark all messages. Online status. Get new mail. Synchronize. Erase deleted item. Erase junk mail. New mailbox ellipsis. New smart mailbox. Edit smart mailbox. Duplicate smart. New smart mailbox. Rename mailbox. Delete mailbox. Export mailbox. Go to favorite. Move to favorite mailbox.
Now, move to favorite mailbox. Now you can hit the right arrow and it'll tell you what each mailbox is.
Move to favorite mailbox. Apple everything. Command control 1. Domain work command control 2. All inboxes command control 3.
The Black Hawks
Bills command control 4.
are they? Yeah,
Bills command control 4.
And that's all the ones we have set.
Domain work.
And I don't know why it's saying command control because
unread school
yeah. Command 1 through whatever you have your mailboxes set to works just fine. Let me see something.
Apple everything. Unread. Domain work. Unread. All inboxes. Unread. WWE. Why now?
Command control works too. But the bottom line is that's how you organize your favorites. You go to your mailbox that's not in favorites. VO-Shift-M. Hit the letter A or arrow down to add to favorites. Hit enter and you're done. Repeat the process if you want to remove. VO-Shift-M. Arrow down or hit the letter R. And that will remove it from favorites. Assuming that you're already in the favorites list. If you try to remove a mailbox from the favorites and you're not in the favorites list, it's not going to give you that option. Alright, so let's jump up here to say I want to add all junk or all trash to my favorites. So I would go all the way top to my favorites.
Toolbar. Favorites. Expanded. Row 1.
Now, it's not saying it, and it might be because of the way my verbosity is set. But there's actually a scroll or interact area here. And I'm going to interact.
In favorites, add favorites, displaying alternate items.
And it's telling me that I can add favorites.
Add.
So I'm going to hit the add button.
In dialog, mailbox to add favorite. Select the mailbox to add to your favorites.
All right.
Mailbox to add.
Mailbox to add to your favorites.
Help. Mailbox to add.
All right. This is the drop down or the pop up, whatever you want to call it, to select the mailboxes. So I'm going to VO space bar here.
Menu. Checkmark all inboxes.
All inboxes is already there, so it's already checked.
VIPs.
VIPs, I don't want that there.
Flagged. Remind me. Follow up. Send later. All drafts. All sent. All trash.
All trash. I like to have my trash in one spot so I can just hit Command A, delete it, and get rid of it. So I'm going to hit enter here.
All trash. Mailbox L. All trash. Mailbox to add.
You see it's already, the all trash is selected, so I'm going to go
L. Cancel.
I can cancel.
OK.
Or I can hit OK.
Expanded.
And let's go check.
Domain work. 5 unread.
Let's check
domain work.
Let's check to see if that is there.
All inboxes. All trash. 42 unread.
And
all
there
trash.
it is.
Collapsed.
All trash.
Bills. 1 unread. Bills.
Below bills. I'll show you how to add one more custom or all inbound.
Favorites. Expanded.
So, and the other thing you can do to make sure, because if I interact here,
In text. Favorite.
see,
favorites.
it's telling me that there's only text here. What I would need to do is make sure my VO cursor is on the scroll area. So what I'm going to do is the VO command F5 command.
Favorites. Displaying alternate items.
Now it tells me that's over the favorites. Now I can interact.
In favorites. Displaying alternate items. Favorites.
Now I can go over to add.
Add.
There it is.
In dialog, mailbox to add favorite. Select the mailbox to add to your favorites. Help. Mailbox to add. Menu. All inboxes. VIPs. Flagged. Remind me. Follow up. Send later. All drafts. All sent. All trash. All junk. All archive. All junk.
All junk. Because I definitely like to get rid of all my junk at the same time. So I'm going to hit enter.
All junk. Mail. Help.
Go back.
All junk. Mailbox to add.
All junk is the mailbox to add.
Help. Cancel.
I can cancel.
OK.
Or hit OK.
Expanded.
And let's
All
see.
trash. 42 unread. Bills. 1 smart mailboxes. Bills. 1 all junk. 67 unread.
And there it is. All junk. In my ads. Or in my favorites list.
Add toolbar.
All right. Let's go into mail preferences.
Signatures window. Toolbar.
It's already on signatures, so that's what we're going to look at today. All right. So I already have signatures. But if you wanted to create a specific signature for a specific account, make sure you're in that account. For instance,
Signatures. Toolbar. Signatures. Row 1 of 8. All signatures. Selected.
all right, you heard him say all signatures, so I'm going to interact with the stable.
In iCloud.
There's my iCloud,
Outlook.
my Outlook,
Cliff Gmail.
my Gmail. Let's stop interacting.
Add vertical names. Vertical splitter.
And as you can see, there's no signatures in my Gmail account. If I wanted to add one, I would just go over here to add.
Text. Add.
There's add. I would hit add, write what I want the signature to be, and then that's pretty much it. There's no done or nothing. The only thing you'd have to do is select whether you want it to be selected automatically,
Remove.
which is
Dimmed unchecked. All. Choose signature. None. Choose signature.
you would choose signature,
Dimmed.
and it's not going to let me because there's no signature, but you can choose what signature you want to be for that account, or you can just select none, which is what I do, so I can select it each time. But let's go back over here to the beginning.
Toolbar. Signatures. Row 4. In signature. All signatures. All signature.
All right, I'm going to stop interacting with all signatures.
Add vertical names. Row 1 of 15.
All right, since I have 15 signatures, some of them are probably duplicates, some of them are probably ones that I never got rid of. But the thing is, with iCloud, when you create a signature and you restore your Mac or you get a new Mac, it doesn't automatically put those signatures in the account that you want, but it does save them in your all signatures, and that's what it's doing here. So what I'm going to do is show you how to move these signatures or copy these signatures to the account that you want. So let's see
Vertical splitter.
what signatures I have here.
Names. Row 1 of 8. Audio editing 101.
All right, that's my audio editing 101 signature. So I want this in my iCloud account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my voiceover cursor is on this signature, which is VO, Command, and F5.
T of Word. Audio editing 101.
All right, it is. And this is the tricky part. This is the part that you have to remember to do. Next, you want to turn off voiceover cursor tracking. And to do that, you do VO, Shift, and F5. F3.
Cursor tracking off.
All right. The next step is I want to VO Command Shift Spacebar, the mouse down command that I've been talking about.
Mouse down on T of Word. Audio editing 101.
Now, you might not have been able to hear that, but there was a click letting me know that the mouse was down. And now, when I start to move it, there's a sliding motion, again, that you're probably not going to be able to hear, but that's how you know that it's moving it. And what I'm doing is, I'm moving to the all signatures, or to the list of accounts, to pick what account I want it to go in.
Audio editing 100. Vertical splitter.
So I stop interacting, and now I'm moving back to the accounts table.
Signatures. Row 1 of 8. All signatures.
All signatures.
In signatures. Row 1 of 8. iCloud.
Now I'm on iCloud. Now what I'm going to do is the mouse up command, which is VO Command Shift in the space bar.
Mouse up on iCloud.
I'm going to turn voiceover tracking back on.
Cursor tracking on.
And then I'm going to go
all signature iCloud.
Now I'm going to stop interacting and go to my iCloud signature and see if that signature was copied there. Let's see.
Vertical names. Row 1 of 2. Audio editing 101.
And there it is. Simple as pie. It ain't the easiest thing to practice, but once you get the hang of it, you'll know. I'll give you one more quick example here.
Vertical splitter. All signature. Added. Vertical splitter. Names. Row 1 of 15. Audio editing 101. Selected.
All right. That one's already moved. Let's see.
In BlogSig. CWWC. BlogSig.
All right. Now, this signature is already on my iCloud account, but I also want it on my Outlook account, which is another account that I send messages from. And I definitely want people to check out my website, my podcast, and YouTube pages and all that. That's why it's there. So, again, I'm going to double check to make sure my cursor is over it with VO Command F5.
BlogSig. Edit text.
And it is. Now I'm going to turn voiceover tracking off with VO Shift and F3.
Cursor tracking off.
Now, mouse down command. VO Command Shift Spacebar.
Mouse down on BlogSig. Edit text.
I heard the click, so I know it's selected that the mouse is down. Now I'm going to stop interacting with this table.
Added names.
Now I'm going to go over to the signatures accounts list.
Vertical splitter. Signatures. Row and signatures. Row 1 of 8. iCloud. Outlook.
There's my Outlook account, and that's where I want it at. So I'm going to VO Shift Command Spacebar, which is the mouse up command.
Mouse up on Outlook.
Turn my cursor tracker back on.
Cursor tracking on.
And now I'm going to go check the Outlook account to see if it's there.
iCloud, Outlook, empty Outlook, added vertical names, row 1 of 1, BlogSig, selected.
And there you have it. There it is. That's how you create and organize signatures. As you know, this is Mac, more with the Mac Beyond the Basics, and I'm not teaching voiceover. It's under the impression that you know what you're doing basically with your Mac, and I'm just teaching you some advanced things that I've learned over the years and have been taught by different mentors like John and Tim and you know, people that I've collected information from. So you go ahead and put up your hand. One thing I wanted to mention is when I was demonstrating those favorites, those all inboxes for whatever reason are not listed in your normal mailboxes. That's why you have to go and interact with that area above the favorites and get them that way. I don't even remember how I figured that out, but yeah, that they used to be in like a couple OSs ago. It wasn't even Big Sur. It was the one before that, Monterey or whatever. Maybe I don't even know the order of the things, but two OSs ago, the all inboxes were listed, all junk, all trash, and all that. But when Ventura came around, for whatever reason, they're hidden, for lack of a better term, and you gotta exploit them that way.
First question is, do you really have to go through the file menus and all those menus and just see which ones already exist that don't have?
It would be recommended because you don't want to set one that's already set, one, and two, you don't want to use a keyboard key combination that's already in use. That's why. Right. That's why it's recommended that you copy the last phrase to the clipboard, see how it's written out, and then, like I said, you used to be able to copy and paste it, but
yeah, you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, you have to actually write it out now.
And then I have another question is, I noticed that you used Command Option, and then like A or T or something you picked. Is Command Option always pretty safe to use for any of those?
In
shortcut,
theory, yes.
please?
I mean, I've never seen a keyboard shortcut that used Command Option or the Option key at all. It's usually Command Shift or something like that. That's why I went with Option, because it's usually a safe bet.
I was interested in the Control F5. I think that was
That takes you to the
go
toolbar.
to the toolbar.
Yes.
Since you were doing another thing and you didn't use it in the demonstration, have you found that it works?
Yes, it does. Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent. Maybe an app here and there that it doesn't work, but I've found that for the most part, like Mail and Safari, etc., it seems to work.
And it's pretty convenient too, because you don't have to worry about VO right and left
I
all
know.
across all that. So you just
Right,
jump
especially
to the
in preferences when you need to get to the toolbar quick.
right.
It's a nice little shortcut.
One thing I will point out though, in your Mail app, I have my verbosity stuff turned down because I would guess I would call myself an experienced user. I've been using a Mac for about 12 years now. But for somebody who's just getting started or has only been using their Mac for a little bit, I would recommend having your verbosity set higher, just so you can get used to what you're doing. Me, I still have my hints turned on because Apple sneaks stuff in on the sly sometimes. And a voiceover will tell you when there's a new hint. It won't tell you exactly that is a new hint. It just will tell you, and you'll be like, oh, that's something I didn't even know. So
Yeah, I never heard that before.
One thing I did want to point out, because when we were going through the Mail app with the favorites, it said Control Option or Command Control and then the number of the mailbox. That's actually to move a message to that mailbox. So say I got a message from John in my inbox and I want to actually save it to another inbox so I don't delete it by accident. If I hit Control, Command, and the number of the mailbox where I want it to go, it'll automatically move it to. I mean, the other way you can do it is VO Shift M, go down to Move To, and then select the mailbox. But the quick way to do it is Command, Control, and the number 1. I think that's the submenu that I was in. That's why I kept on saying Control, Command, and whatever the number was. But to go to your favorites, it's Command 1 through 9, I think it is. 0 is not 1,
Yeah.
is it, John?
I don't think so.
If you have a topic or something that you want me and John to cover in another session, please send an email to support@stiritup.com or john@macfortheblind.com, and we will get those questions, those topics, get them together and put something together for next time. So thanks to John from Mac for the Blind for joining us. Thanks for joining everybody. Thanks,
Yep,
John.
thank you guys.
Thanks for joining More with the Mac, Beyond the Basics. If your topic wasn't covered or you have an additional Mac question, send an email to support@stiritup.com. Remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. And don't forget to check out my buddy John Pennery's podcast, Mac for the Blind. Until next time.